Check, check, check. 1, 2. What's up, guys? Welcome back. I go by Jay Bonix. All right, last time I talked about the kind of the state of nightlife and more like the venue side of things. What venues maybe are lacking, or what people are thinking, and what they're behaving like, what they're wanting more of, and all that. But I don't own a venue. Not yet, at least. I'll let you know if I do. But what I do is I'm a DJ. I go to the venues, I perform, I try to keep people there dancing, and then sometimes I make certain people not dance, so they get bored a bit, and they go drink. Why? Because that means they spend money, and then the venue makes money, and then the venue has money to give me. So, anyway, if you didn't know that, if you didn't know the purpose of entertainment at a venue is to make people make money for the venue, surprise, that's their purpose. Yes, as creatives, yes, there is a range to this, right? Being an open format DJ who goes to bars and clubs, my role is a little different than if you're Katy Perry or Travis Scott and you're up to the club. You probably could give two shits about anybody else. You're probably wearing your chains, wearing your designer clothes, and you're like, I'm gonna put one song on, the DJ's gonna play it, I'm gonna scream on the mic for a bit, we're gonna pop some bottles, and I'll throw my dick in there, and then make like 10, 20, 30, 50 grand, and I'll bounce out. But I'm not that. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Anyway, the point is here, again, we are there to make the venue money, to keep the customers and patrons entertained, emotionally stimulated, if you will, and to make them have a good time, to want to stay there longer. So there's a higher probability that they will spend more money, either for a longer period of time or more money over a shorter time frame. So let's just say if they're going to stay there for, I don't know, an hour, if you make them have a good time, you make them jump up and down, and then, you throw like a weird ass song on that maybe only 10 people there like. Well, from one perspective, it might be kind of awkward. But another perspective is you're going to have a bunch of people who are like, I'm not feeling it right now. What else are we going to do here? Well, you can dance. You could stand in the corner and be awkward. Or I guess you could drink. So hopefully they choose the drinking option, which means then the bartenders will have a new rotation of people coming to them to get a beverage to make them more easily entertained, and more importantly, spend money. So the bartenders have money, the venue makes money, and then they have money to give you. Because if they don't have money to give you, then none of this really matters. Because yes, we can live our dream. We can, show our parents and that guy in high school who told us we can't do anything with this. It's not a real job. We can show them up and be like, hey, look at this. I did the thing. Or we can be broke and prove them right. So let's try not to have that happen. So again, the point is we're here at these venues to help them make money, entertain the crowd, and rotate the crowd to keep people spending money and also entertain and have a good time. Well, at the same time, hopefully, we're doing our thing as a creative by having fun, performing well, performing creatively, being unique, expressing ourselves in our own art form at the same time. That is the best combination, guys. If you know how to make people entertained and make the venue happy while also serving yourself as a creative, that is the best combination that you can find, and it takes a while to develop that. And even when you do, there's definitely nights when you don't feel nearly as creative, and it's definitely more working than performing. But other nights are kind of the opposite. So, but again, point is here, we're supposed to make the money. So what happens when we are now in a time where nightlife is a little dead, or pretty dead, depending on the night and where you're at, and our job is to make the venue money, keep people there. But if no one's there, what do we do? Because that's the worst. When no one's there, I hate when no one's there. When no one's there, there's no energy at all. Now, it's your job to make the energy, but I think many of you can relate to the fact that we usually work off of the crowd. Although we can't insert energy. We can drop different songs. We can like pick things up a bit, do some quick mixing, makes people like fist bump for a little bit, but then they get tired of that. So we got to switch it up. But the point is, so yeah, we can insert the energy, but if no one's there, it is the hardest thing. Cause like, I'm like, what the heck do I do with this? Like there might be 10 people at the bar, person in the corner at a table, maybe just 2 bartenders there. I was like, what do you do with that? And the answer is you make the most of it. What does that mean? Well, it might not be that satisfactory because it might just be on stage or in the corner in the DJ booth. And you're like, what am I doing here? I'm bored. Fuck this, just to put it bluntly. But you got to, again, work with what you have. So like in my head, I'm like this. All right. I could either for the next 4, 5, sometimes 6 hours, I could look miserable up here. And listen, I've been here before. But anyway, I could look miserable up here. I could have a frown on my face. I could play an entire song, then mix out of it, play another entire song, and just say, fuck this. They're paying me either way. Why should I give a fuck? Okay. You know what? I've had nights like that. I'm not perfect. I'm not blaming you if you've had nights like that. But here's the thing. I don't think we now have the luxury of doing that because of the fact that these nights that are dead are getting more increasingly common, and the nights that are busy are less frequent. We just don't have luxury of not giving a shit. Especially when we live in a world or work in an industry that is oversaturated. Everyone does what we do. Everyone says they're better than you or me or whoever, and they can do it. And a lot of times, their genius way, their very, very genius way of, their business tactic is to, I'll do it for cheaper. And unfortunately, that works a lot. All right. So we have to be really cognizant of that. So this goes back to, all right, how do we continue to provide value? And what is a new type of value? Because, again, if we're just used to playing in venues where it's always busy all the time, and this doesn't even mean like about the venue's problems. It's, the natural cycle of the market right now. You could have had a busy, like a year ago, the venue could be packed. And if you always played there, but now it could be dead. And that doesn't necessarily mean the venue is doing something wrong, although I have my opinions about what they probably are doing wrong. But the point stands is you still have to provide that value to that venue. You can't become too comfortable and just say, fuck this, I get paid either way. I'm just not going to give a shit. Like, because the point is, again, you can get thrown out, you can get replaced like that. And I don't care who you are, I don't care how long you've been doing anything. People get super emotional when money is involved. And when the venue isn't making money, when the bartenders have less tips going in their pocket, when there's less revenue coming in, but the rent's going up, the cost for goods and services are going up. Although I will say the cost of services ain't going up for the DJs. But you can raise the prices for everything else. Food, drinks, tolls. Speaking of tolls, okay, side note. I don't know if you know this, all right? If you live in New York City, or if you live around New York City, I'm sure you have to drive. Or most people don't have to, but let me tell you, if you live around here and you have to drive, you know my fucking pain, because there is a toll just to breathe. I swear to God. So if you're going in Manhattan, so I live right below Jersey City. It's a place called Bayonne. So if you take like a map, more or less you got Jersey City, Bayonne, and Staten Island's right in the ass, right below. All right. So I have to like essentially drive like a few miles up north. It takes me about like 30 minutes just to get through all this traffic right now. It's ridiculous. I have to drive to the Holland Tunnel. And just to get to the Holland Tunnel alone, I've already paid $5-7 in tolls, which doesn't sound like a lot, but just hold on. All right. So just to get to the tunnel, I pay tolls. Now I'm at the tunnel. Now I pay anywhere between $15 and $20, more or less, just to get through the tunnel. All right. Now that I've entered New York City, now if I want to go below 60th Street, and Manhattan, which is the central business district, which is basically anything that's relevant in terms of like entertainment. It's mostly below that. Okay, you're talking Midtown and downtown, Lower Manhattan, Lower East Side, Greenwich Village, where the money's at. Now they're putting another toll. Okay, another toll just to go there. So I'm now going to be paying between going there and back, probably between $50 and $60 easily of tolls. That's not including potential parking or gas or miles on my car or the potential fact that I could get stabbed from just walking outside. So all of that said, all those things that are increasing, that are going up, our money isn't going anywhere. No one's saying I'm going to pay you more. The rate for DJing in New York City, I think is, I forget who said this, but more or less, it has been like $300 on average. And I'm not saying I get paid that or someone else gets paid that or you, but on average, you go to your local small bar, they're paying like $300, $250, which is disgusting. But that's what they're paying. That price has been the same for decades. It has not gone up with inflation, but everything else has. So it baffles my mind that a venue can charge more for their alcohol, their little freaking vodka soda, which costs probably like 2 cents to make. But when it comes to entertainment, especially when they're so adamant wanting like the best guy that you have in your rotation or whatever, but they're still willing to pay you the same amount that they got paid like in the 80s, maybe before. I don't know. But here's the point, guys. We need to increase the value that we bring, regardless of all that being said. We need to show up on time. We need to make sure that if no one's there, we still give our very best. We either entertain the bartenders. If there's 10 people there, what do those 10 people look like? Let's make them have a great time. Something I like to do, I like to memorize the favorite like genres and songs of my bartenders that I work with. Because at least I know if it's dead there, I can bring some joy to a select amount of people. And if they're having a crappy night, maybe I can play that song that makes them have a little smile on their face. They come over to me, we have a conversation, and there's some positivity there. And so when the conversation comes around and they're like, hey, we got to make some cuts. If there's somebody on your side that can say, hey, don't cut that guy. He's something special here. She's something special here. We need them to come in. We need them to still be in rotation. We need to do things like that, guys, because it is not going to get any easier, especially during the next, I'd say, year or so. So that being said, regardless of what situation you're in, make the most of it. Find different ways to provide value, regardless of how bleak it may seem, because it's either you got to fight like hell, because if you got to this point, I can guarantee you already have fought like you've fought like hell. You continue to fight like hell, and you just got to keep fighting harder and harder, and make the fight be the reason that you keep going, and that that you're proud of yourself, what the fight needs to be what you take pride in, because your victories are going to have to look a little different. You can't keep this ego of thinking that I am the king of whatever. I roll up in the club, I'm the shit. I'm going to look like a wannabe celebrity. That can't be. If your ego is made up of hollow crap that doesn't mean a damn thing, it's going to get shattered. It's going to, the economy that's happening right now, and it's going to happen in the next couple months and years, is going to reveal a lot of stuff about the industry. So remain true to yourself. Remain true to all those qualities that got you to where you are now, and that will get you past all this crap and higher and higher up on the ladder. Respect those that can provide value to you, and do everything in your power to provide value to them. And with that, I'll leave it there. But anyway, wishing you guys all the best. Again, you can hit me up on Instagram at Jaybonnax. It's Jaybonax. Hope to talk to y'all soon. And like always, peace.